Okay, welcome to another night of block mining simulation game. Tonight I was testing some stuff out and I got a bit fed up with how slow it was, so I decided to just bite the bullet and SSH into another machine that I have that's a lot faster. So you should hopefully notice a dramatic speed improvement tonight. So this is what block mining simulation game looks like on a modern computer with a solid state drive. So dramatically faster. And interestingly, I noticed that it's much faster. It's actually faster with SQLite than it is with Postgres on the same machine, which is not what I expected. It was kind of the reverse on the other older, slower machine. So maybe I will encounter some new corner cases tonight. I also changed the block mining radius. I did that last time. It's actually, this is the same code, basically the same code from last time. Haven't had time to do any improvements on this yet. This week I worked on a new shorts video. So that is finished, and if you're a channel member, then you have access to that video. It is on the shutdown command, and yeah, that's what I've worked on since the last stream. Yeah, this is dramatically more fun to play when it's actually fast. It's so fast that I don't even think I can go up. I can't even catch up with the area that's not loaded. It's just loading instantly, which is how it should be. So I don't know, I think the changes I made make it a bit too overpowered now, but after taking so long to mine before, it's much more pleasant this way. There goes my fan. Oh, gotta make more. I need more wood. See, we got 7 viewers. Can someone just type something in chat just to see if it's stuck? Sometimes it gets stuck. It doesn't update. Oh, there we go. So chat is working. So much faster today. I can actually like explore cave systems. is there any challenge or progressing to this? More like a sandbox. At this point, it's basically just like a minimalist demo of a game that I plan to work on over time and turn into something more. Making all the code available and making tutorial videos of it. Mostly like Linux command line stuff, but it's all related because it's a lot of the development techniques and stuff, or like terminal techniques I talk about in my other content. But at the moment, it's kind of like the minimalist thing that it possibly can be to be a playable prototype. So there's no story or anything, or I'm actually just testing out I used to only be able to, in previous iterations, you could only mine one block at a time, but now I made it for last stream and tonight. I made it so it mines out to a radius of 5, so I'm just play testing it. I'm also testing on a faster computer tonight because it was horribly slow in past runs. Is it starting to get slow? Oh, not too bad. Yeah, I would say it's educational. When I look at most game dev tutorials and stuff, most people who build video games are maybe building them for a different reason. Why I am with all the other content that I've been making, I need to come up with better ways to monetize and stuff. And I think a game would actually be a decent substrate to monetize some of the other technical content that I'm making. Especially if I could get it to a point where it's actually a bit more compelling. Seems like a front end for Dwarf Fortress. Yeah, a couple of people have mentioned Dwarf Fortress. Actually, what I've never played Dwarf Fortress, but when I look into why people get into it and stuff, and the whole lore of it, I almost the type of game I would like to create would almost be the opposite of Dwarf Fortress. The actual the fantasy aspect of it, the learning about the lives of the dwarves and the kind of make-believe all the stories and stuff like that. That stuff interests me kind of the least. And for me, if I get the opportunity to work on this, I'll probably make it more like a very realism-based simulation thing. So I prefer extreme realism, but at the same time, I think I think if something does realism good, it's very easy to just add, if you want to add like make-believe stuff, if you want to like patch that in, it's quite easy. This is in Java. You know, a lot of people don't like Java, but I like it, and I guess I don't know Go. I don't have anything bad to say about Go. I just don't really never got into it. Rust. People are too fanatical about Rust, and I don't know, the syntax just seems like kind of crazy. I mean, it seems like a very young language. I agree, Java has its perks. I've seen Go and Rust being, oops, praised. I gotta increase the font on that. Can't read it. Yeah, Java's verbose, but I like it. I think you actually get something for. You have to like make 10,000 classes and interfaces and stuff, but you actually get something for it, That means you can let the compiler do a lot of your debugging for you. So I'm kind of curious to see, even though on a faster computer, if it'll start to lag a lot if I generate a bunch of the world. Actually, let's quit. And something just fell down. So it seems like it's getting slower. Now let's try going back and see if that lags. Yeah, I'm cheating though. I'm running it on a fast computer though. This is what it's runs like on a modern computer with solid state drive and a few cores. I don't think I'm going to be able to fix the lag issues running it natively on this one, but it's got a pretty old like spinning disk. But I don't know. There's only so much you can do. Just testing out tonight to explore the limits. I figured there's probably some new bug cases I can encounter. It's also good to know if I'm like if it still runs slow even on this. But this seems like this is fast enough that like you could release this and actually call it a game, I think. Yeah, and actually you mentioned change the database engine. So it is faster with changing the database engine, but ironically, I'm running it on the faster computer with SQLite. So this here is just running. Yeah, this is just running the SQLite, which is faster on the newer computer. But then when I run, if I actually try to run the this is the same thing running on the faster computer, but it's going through Postgres. So interestingly, it is quite a bit slower, but I assume it's probably a lot more scalable. Yeah, this is pretty unexpected. I'll have to look into that. This I may learn something into figuring out why. Because Postgres shouldn't be slower than SQLite. Or maybe there is a good reason. Isn't this a single player game? Why would you ever use Postgres? I built it to be like, I built it with a lot of design decisions in mind to make it as extensible as possible. So the idea would be to eventually add multiplayer support. And if I build it in such a way that it's like the database is kind of made generic, then adding stuff like that in the future becomes a lot easier. And it's also good for just testing stuff like this. The actual database model for the game is absurdly simple on purpose, which is also part of the reason for the inefficiency. So every single thing in the universe is stored in one giant table called block, and it's just a coordinate pair of like X, Y, Z, and then the actual data for the block. By the way, I like Linux command line shorts a lot. Never thought that could be so engaging. Yeah, I think there's a need for some more engaging content on the subject. I mean, if you think about how much of GDP is backed by server, like some DevOps engineer running these commands, so they're actually used by society, but at the same time, they're just so most of the content out there is so boring, and especially some of the commands are I remember in researching them, I would sometimes look to see if there's an existing video on it, and it would be like posted 11 years ago, and it's like it's got this really loud like classical music in it and stuff, and it's just really small fonts. Yo, hi there, Robert Liller Software. Hi there, Vic. I'm your biggest fan, Robert Elder Software. Oh, thanks. Yeah, that's a game idea I've been working on. I decided to, since a lot of my content is on command line stuff, I decided it would make sense to try and, like I said, as an extra monetizable thing to start work on a game. I think that makes sense for a few reasons, because my audience is mostly technical. I think command line stuff is it's a very niche, but like fanatical audience. But then also it's building an application for the command line without a sophisticated user interface is like simpler. So I think that starting work on a command line game, it's a lot more likely that you'll successfully build something if it has a command line interface, because it's just less coding, less development. And honestly, it's also, I think, pretty unique. I don't know of many command line based games out there that are actually pretty extensive. So I can put some of my other demos of various command line tricks and incorporate those into the game. Hey, is the green tiles fog of war? Yeah, basically. So the question mark is unknown, and then when it comes back, if there's nothing, if it's uninitialized, that's the U. So first it figures out, if I go over here, first it figures out that it's that there's nothing initialized there, and then it initializes it. Why not use end curses or something else for this? So end curses is there's no Java libraries for end curses. There are some like kind of niche ones, but for now the stuff I haven't needed is not that sophisticated. So I've just used it's pretty simple to write the ANSI escape codes. But I don't know. I'm debating. So I actually. There was a few other important things. One was the signal window window change event, I want to subscribe to that so I can actually resize. Like if I change the window like that, then it's broken completely, and then I have to, relaunch it. And so if I listen to signal window change, then I can resize it. And to do that, I thought that there was a way natively in Java, but apparently there isn't, or it's been deprecated. So I decided to bite the bullet and look into how to use J and I. And so that was one of the things I added recently, was just like a simple thing to do the J and I calls to actually subscribe to that event. And so once now that I'm actually getting the event, that I need to do more work to code to actually handle it. But now that I have that, I'm debating whether I shouldn't just use some of the ncurses libraries and stuff, because that'll be marginally easier to incorporate that now. That's made in Java. Interesting choice. Yeah, Java is. I like Java. I think it's a pretty decent language. What's it about? Kind of reminds me of Factorio. I would say that in terms of the aboutness, it's not quite about anything. It's just you wander around this infinite procedurally generated matrix of blocks, and the blocks can be arbitrary data. And right now, all of the blocks are one of these types of things. So to start off with the idea, everything in the game is just a rock or a type of mineral ore, and you go around spamming the M key to mine them. But there's still more issues I have to fix. There's like lag issues, and it doesn't build properly and stuff. And once I can get some of the basics working better, then I'll probably add more actual game mechanics. But for now, streams like this are kind of just I'd say I'm not even really like this is gameplay, but for me, I'm just like testing it to see, like, when I fill up the database a little bit, is it going to get crazy slow? That's one of the biggest issues I've had recently, is this whole, the reason I'm pursuing this model is it's very simple and it's like portable. But the downside is it's extremely inefficient and slow. So I'm just, the whole concept is kind of unproven. Yeah, this is quite interesting that it's so much slower. I'll have to double check what indexes I'm using, because maybe I created the SQLite table with a different index. Seems that an interesting game could be made out of this. Yeah, that's the vision. Yep, SQLite. I have it. It works with two different databases. So the actual game, the data in the the data for the game world it's generated on the fly, and then it's saved into one single SQL table. So with just an XYZ and then the block data, and it works in two different implementations. So right now I'm in the Postgres. I'm connected to the Postgres servers, but you can actually just change the connection string and put it in a SQLite file. And on the other slower computer, it seemed the SQLite, putting in the SQLite made it horribly slow. After about an hour of playing, it was just kind of unusable. But then when I switched to Postgres, it made it a lot more playable. But then on this other faster computer that I'm playing on right now, it's actually the opposite. So that'll be an interesting thing to investigate. Looks robust, but not very lightweight. You mean SQLite itself, or the game? Needs more iron oxide. The game, like Java with dependencies for databases and that. Yeah, it's I guess that does add in quite a bit of extra code, but it makes it not lightweight. Like the jar, I think is 50 megs or something, and most of that was actually the SQLite jar, if I remember correctly. Java itself, like to run Java, it's possible to write Java that's very fast, but because it's a garbage collected language, it's very easy to write Java that can be very slow if you don't think about the underlying data types and what they're doing. But ultimately, the database stuff, I think other games and people try to write their own. They try to make some ultra, efficient and novel storage technique for their game. But I think at the end of the day, it would be better if they just used a database or something. Because effectively, if you try to do that, you'll end up rewriting your own database. Better just to for something like that, I think it's better to just make it generic. And plus that also just makes lots of other useful things, like if you want to do it over networking, suddenly it becomes easy to do that, whereas in any other model it's impossible. That red thing was Rust. Yeah, basically. Where was that? Did I mine it? Yeah, any of the red, one of these things, iron oxide. Trick a rock into running graphics. Oh, you're here from the how to make a CPU video? Yeah, that video is still going strong. It's at 5 million. It's getting 20,000 views a day now, I think. Yeah, it's a nice feeling to have a video that people actually watch. It's great. It's a great way to explain stuff to the masses. I can just sit here. It's like lecturing to a room full of people every day, and I don't have to do anything. 3 a.m. Yeah, I think it's time for bed. All right, thanks for stopping by. Have a good night. Oh, you're the guy that made the video ranking all Linux commands. Yep, that's me. Couldn't recognize because of the lighting. Yeah, I need to. Ideally, my lights would sit a bit, illuminate my face a bit better, but yeah, I don't know. I just thought this was this was a lighting setup that's consistent with other streams, with other streamers. So I decided to go with this. I like it. It's a nice aesthetic. It would be, I guess it'd be more interesting if my picture was actually a bit bigger, but oh well. I'll probably keep it this way just so it's consistent with the other streams. So what end goal are we going toward here? Sandbox, full game, library. I would say my approach is I kind of like to build something that's small and functional, like something that can like deliver some value, and then iterate on that incrementally to see where it goes. So I guess in some ways you could compare what I'm doing to being like building a game engine, but at the same time, I'm very familiar with the software developer tendency to like build some library or like go in a cave and like work on some grand masterpiece that will be useful someday, and then it's like people abandon it. Like there's tons of people that start developing a game engine and then it never becomes anything and never makes money or anything. So my approach is just build like this thing that is like a barely functional game prototype, and then raise $152, and I think that's it's a good approach. It's like I can kind of like A/B test the marketing as well as everything else, Because if I spend a lot of time writing code to deliver something that nobody wants, that's going to waste time. But I'm sure I'll do, I'm sure I'll present some feature or something in the future, and people will be like, oh, you should do more of that. And then that'll be like an easy thing to add incrementally, and then I'll get more people interested. And so yeah, it's not only about coding, but also about the marketing aspect and every other level of the whole feedback cycle of, get money, use the money to buy food, turn the food into programs. So tonight the goal is basically just like testing this, seeing how responsive it is. And I also kind of like it's nice to just space out. Streaming is difficult, so I like being able to just space out and spam the M key, play my game. I'll go back to playing the SQLite version because it's so much more pleasant when it's actually fast. let's try and break stuff. Let's see what this does. Starting to lag. The terminal's starting to lag now. Just dropped by to say hello, Robert. How's it going, E? Tonight we're mining blocks. Same thing we do every night. I'm pretty good. Things are making progress. Got a video uploaded today. I've been distracted trying to keep up with the video schedule, but now that the monthly shorts video is out, then I will try to focus back on some improvements to the game. There's just some random stuff I gotta do I want to add new features. I want to add some, make it prepared to add new block types and stuff. I have, right now the actual data for the block type is the actual emoji character in like UTF-8 or something. and I'm going to change that so that they I'm going to like standardize them, and then the way they're presented and printed in the terminal will be like a separate entity. So I need to make a couple changes to support that. I'll have to watch your new video. See you again soon. All right, thanks for stopping by. What am I watching? Unique is my favorite Linux command, by the way. What you're watching is the block mining simulation game. It's a game idea I've been working on for a while. It's a game, it's a procedurally generated infinite universe, and you wander around it and mine blocks in the terminal. Have I ever struggled with procrastination? Not really. I struggle maybe more with the opposite. I seem to end up constantly involved in large tasks that consume a lot of my time. I guess in a way that's kind of one form of procrastination. If you're doing something, if you're like really involved in something that's not actually productive. Yeah, actually, I mean, that'd be an interesting way of characterizing procrastination. Procrastination is when you're a workaholic for everything except for the thing you have to do. When you're a workaholic for doing nothing or a different piece of work. This is way better than just scrolling social media. I mean, this live stream. If so, I'm glad you feel that way. Yeah, live streaming seems like it's like the current growing thing. So I'm like, I gotta try this out. I mean, honestly, it is kind of it's impressive that there's I can just open this up and then there's like 11 people who will watch this. I mean, procrastinating by working on stuff, rather procrastinating on TikTok. Do you like bananas? They are a pretty cheap food. I try to buy them every now and then, but then they always end up going bad before I am able to eat them all. Skill issue. You freeze them before they go bad. I've had I stayed with someone once who froze their bananas, and then when they thawed them out, they were all like gross. for shakes mostly. Because I don't really ever have shakes. This game looks a bit like an old game I played where I controlled a spacecraft explorer. I gotta remember to make the chat less wide next time. Controlled the spacecraft, galaxy, meeting other races and mining planets. Yeah, I think you could use the existing engine, if you call it that, to support a lot of different kind of games. I need to make the UI a bit more robust. Like right now, the where the inventory level is this here, like the distance here, it's just like hard coded, and there's also a problem with the inventory where like this is just like hard coded offsets basically, or like what I do is I cycle through everything in your inventory, and then there's like a modulo offset. So if I had like these two items, I could put something there, but if I end up adding more items to the game, then they'll start to like cross off the screen here and break everything. So there's a need, there's an outstanding to-do item to make that work. Hey Robert, and greetings chat. How's it going? Tiger Money. I always feel like you're lonely or you're just an extremely chill dude. I don't know what to how to psychoanalyze that. I guess I think I'm a pretty chill dude, so we can go with that. I'm kind of tired today. I should really be drinking energy drinks in typical live streamer format, but then again, yeah, then I'll be like awake at night, and you know lately I've just been having like I have one pop for the live stream. It's got a bit of caffeine. It's a good alternative. Yeah, I usually stream around this time. I usually go to bed, in a few hours anyway. I'm going to bed. Have a good one, everyone. Thank you for the live stream. No problem. I'll probably probably be here. I think lately I've been doing Tuesdays and Saturdays, so I'll try to keep up that pace for now, at least as long as my Kickstarter is going. Gonna go now. Have a good night. Yeah, I was thinking about calling it a night as well. I think I proved my point. This works. This does work a lot faster on my other computer. That difference between SQLite and Postgres is an interesting thing to investigate. I'll have to figure out what the difference is there, because it could mean that there's some other like performance boost. Because Postgres should be faster than SQLite, I would think. Love your videos. Need to sign off. Keep converting food into code. Yep, that's what I do. Someone should learn networking first hand, and should someone learn networking first hand when getting into computer science? I think that's what it says, networking. First hand when getting. I'm not sure what you mean by that. You mean like through job experience, or? CCNA. That's one of those like certification type things. Like one of those. I know there's tons and tons of those that you can get. I'm not familiar with CCNA. I think I've heard of that before. Something certified network administrator. Yeah, I think those certifications are, if you work for a company, like some companies specifically are looking for them. And like I think especially like government, for the government, like, even very big corporate places, they just they want to check a box, and they just want like standardization. So for them, those certifications would be a big deal. If you work at like a startup or something, or like something where you need to be need more like open-ended knowledge and experience, you need to like innovate. Those kinds of courses are probably, they'll teach you something, but you're probably not getting the most bang for your buck. Well, it's 10 p.m. here. I proved my point. I mined, oh, look at that. I mined 14,000 rocks tonight. So I think I'll call it a night here, and I'll try to do another stream on Tuesday. Certain paths on learning computers, whether it's learning a specific OS, learning networking, coding, security. I'm not sure. You're just asking for suggestions on the best path. I don't know. I guess you have to go where the future is. If I were you, I'd say the best bet is just do research on, like, if you want to maximize how much money you have, look at what is available. Look at what companies are looking for in jobs. So just go to the job listings and just like say, what if the people are asking for like Microsoft Azure and Kubernetes and stuff like that, then that's the main thing to learn. And then I guess if you're looking for, if money is not the most important thing, then you have to find out your what your niche interests are, and some of that you won't know automatically. You can get that through college, university, etc., and so forth. But anyway, I'll leave it there for tonight. Thanks for stopping by.